Wow. I didn't click done on the title. Son of a bitch. That's fine.
Very cool. Very cool, folks. Let me tell you.
I am getting massive phlegm attack right now, dude. Massive phlegm attack is currently occurring at this juncture. The fuck? Did this thing just randomly, like, snatch a fucking title or some shit? What the heck? That's weird. Alright. Very strange behavior here from YouTube. I've never seen that before. Learned something new. Video game. Factoring some Oreos. I really hope that I will be able to start up. Although I'm probably going to need more fast belts. Need some more fast belts. In order to start setting shit up. And probably a whole lot more long inserters. No, don't, no. That's unnecessary, Boy Meets Mini. Listen, okay, I guess we'll just get into that. So what, Tactical Templar decides to comment on my fucking goddamn video, right? Yeah, you shouldn't, because your brain would suffer from that. Just listening to his, like, one quick fucking Hassan bad segment was dog shit enough. And he has the audacity to say, like, oh, maybe you should lower the length of your videos. It's just like, brother. So then they can be as, like, low IQ and terrible as yours? Okay, bro. Sure, dude. But, I go in there, he continues to lie about me, but whatever. He admits to not watching the fucking video, because he's like, it's too long! Shut your goofy ass up. Templar, all you do is you sit around and you fucking stream every day. Actually, we could probably look this up. He streams on Kick, doesn't he? What's the name of the website that lets you see how long a person streams? I know that Birdman, for example, used the particular website. Website that checks hours streamed. He's just like, oh, well, you know, you just, you're like a shut-in that just, like, sits there and does nothing. Nyeh. It's like, bro, like, hello? But okay, dude. And he basically just does not address like any of the fucking points of criticism, and he continues to lie. I have to like, because I have to constantly say this, like, Templar, if what you were saying is true, then why lie? Why do you have to keep lying? That's the question. But he keeps lying over and over and over and over and over again. What's up, Big Jerry? How are you doing, bud? Oh, and he always talks about how, quote unquote, he got that because he contradicted himself because he's an idiot. Oh, you got that one clip from Internet Adjacent, yet I also don't go into like lolly VTubers chats and start moaning live on stream. It's just like, so you're aware of the Internet Adjacent fucking video, which is where the clip is from, and you're also attacking Internet Adjacent. Not that I particularly care about that. Honestly, I don't give a shit about like what Internet Adjacent has done. I just sourced the clip from Internet Adjacent, so whatever. He has to do that to try to discredit, because if the clip of him moaning in a lolly VTubers fucking chat decides to circulate, it would make him look really, really bad. So if there's that. The thing specifically... Wait, Sully Gnome doesn't have Tactical Templar on here? That's fun. That's very, very funny. I don't even know if this is actual Tactical Templar. Nope. Because that's a stream on Twitch. Very, very fun. Whatever. What was I saying? Right. He has to constantly attack the messenger because he can't, like, really defend the fact that he definitely was the dipshit who was moaning in that fucking goddamn clip. Like, I'm gonna be quite honest. Yeah, he would get banned on Twitch like instantaneously because he's like just a fucking weirdo, like a massive fucking weirdo who's probably gonna say like multiple slurs and then get banned instantaneously, or he'd be too much of a pussy to stream on Twitch because everyone would just make fun of him. I digress though. Templar has to like attack Internet Adjacent, not for the I don't know, like any of the arguments or reasonings or anything whatsoever that Internet Adjacent said in that fucking video. It has to do it for like all of the exact same most like idiotic fucking goddamn reasons. Saying like, Internet Adjacent is like a gay furry loser. Why are you sourcing stuff from Internet Adjacent? That doesn't, that fucking gay lispy weirdo. It's like, and it's just like, that's not how you deal with someone's arguments, right? Like, he already lost instantaneously when he said that he didn't even watch the fucking video. So, it's like, okay, man, good one. It's very, very fucking stupid. Templar, I'm gonna say this. If you ever decide to, I don't know, pop on by or something, the reason why I fucking decided to pop into your fucking stream is because you left a comment on my fucking video. You decided to say you're not gonna fucking watch it at all because you're a coward. Who doesn't want to address any fucking form of criticism of your dumbass fucking positions. Also because you're a fucking coward. And is, he doesn't want to fucking address any criticisms. He doesn't want to deal with the fact that, yeah, he is a fucking weirdo who moans in lolly VTubers fucking chats. He is not capable of probably really engaging with any of the fucking points that I said. We've seen the 26-minute video. You didn't engage with, like, literally anything I said. So, I mean, whatever. Not that he really cares about that anyways. And, what else I was saying? Right, he has to, like, try to do anything from the fact that, he has to, like, basically try to do anything in order to deflect from the fact that he's really stupid, he's a fucking idiot, and he's incapable of engaging in, like, the most basic of fucking arguments. Like, he can't engage with any points because he's too stupid to be able to do it. He has to attack Internet Adjacent because the clip is way too fucking convenient. He has to keep lying and say he doesn't even watch the fucking video at all whatsoever because he's a liar and he's never cared about being honest or truthful whatsoever because, again, we're dealing with a fucking liar here. And what else? What else can we say about fucking our favorite weird fucking loser in Tactical fucking Templar? I don't think there's like really much else, honestly. He's a liar. He's a charlatan. He's a freak. And he has to lie about every fucking position consistently because in reality, he's a grifter who doesn't believe in much of really anything. Or honestly, I think he just might be too stupid to have any beliefs in anything. He just has to lie. Honestly, the biggest tell was him saying, like, I didn't even watch the video because it was too long. It's like, okay. Bro, if you wanted to go through, like, specific parts of the video, I'd have the wherewithal of putting in chapters into the video. Like, you can just do that. You could just go through particular chapters and engage with only certain chapters. You can do that, right? Does Tactical Templar know about the advent of chapters within fucking YouTube or something? I think he might be too stupid to know about those. But no, he just doesn't want to engage with the fucking video because he knows he'd get cooked and he'd be made to look like an extremely big fucking idiot. So, you know, he has to attack and lie and slander instead because he is not an honest actor. Just fundamentally speaking, an incredibly dishonest fucking person. Oh, and like in the meanwhile, the entirety of his chat during that dumbass fucking Hassan segment that he was making was saying that if a journalist goes to record a quote-unquote riot that is happening, and he also claimed, now, boy meets me, you're an LA resident, was what was happening in LA a fucking riot during ICE, when ICE was trying to occupy the fucking city? Was that a riot? All of his like dumbass fucking chatters were saying that if you go to a riot, quote unquote, in order to film, it doesn't matter if you have press credentials. That's inherently bad. And it's just like, wow, you're a fucking idiot, dude. Like, that is the position of someone who is extremely dim-witted. Oh, yeah, and he also was, like, talking about how he thought I would basically, like, fumble, like, words, kind of, because I'm a little dyslexic. And that I would basically fumble my words the whole time in the fucking video. Because of, like, when I was shitting on him, I fumbled some words just once. So he's just like, nah, you're just gonna fumble words and make yourself sound like an idiot. It's like, why the fuck does that matter? Like, you will do anything possible in order to just not engage with any detractors because you know that your fucking stupid, goofy-looking head ass is going to get completely cooked by myself. Because you're too much of a stupid moron to be able to defend yourself because you're a coward. That is why you should have zero respect for someone like fucking Tactical Templar. Because he's a fucking loser. And, you know, listen. If Templar wants to slander me and call me a pedophile, then that's fine. Fine, Templar. We can play that game. I'm just gonna start calling you a fucking pedophile as well. Go fuck yourself, you stupid bitch. You know, when Templar went into that lolly VTuber chat, he did it with ulterior fucking motives. He definitely fucking did that, guys. Totally. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He did that because he had the intention of wanting to bang a kid. This is definitely totally real and true. Yeah, we'll grab some more fast belts as well. Oh, but listen, I mean, if Tactical Templar ever stumbles upon this, and he wants to have a chat about the fucking contents of the video, we can have a chat. That's totally fine. He's gonna have to watch it and not be a fucking coward, of course. But I might be asking a little bit too much from our supposed fucking crusader. Oh, damn you, Boy Meets Mini, you didn't even answer my question. Now, from what I recall correctly, because of course Templar was calling the LA protests a riot. Was that a riot? I'm asking you, Boy Meets Mini, was that a riot? Oh no. Now you should know, Boy Meets Mini, because you were at those protests, weren't you? Was peaceful until the LAPD showed up and started kettling. Now, if Templar, of course, ever went outside, because he kept calling me a shut-in over and over and over again. Okay, again. Uno fucking reverse card, buddy. You're the actual fucking shut-in. Then you would know about this stuff. But he'd prefer to, I don't know, get like whatever schizophrenic interpretation that he gets from multiple rapists and pedophiles and groomers that he generally fucking associates with. He prefers to operate with their narratives instead. Because, again, we're dealing with a fucking weird piece of shit here. But listen, my offer still stands, Templar. You want to have a fucking chat about the dumbass shit that you say? We can have that chat. No fucking problem whatsoever. It's like I said, balls in his fucking court. Nah, he's gonna duck and run. Yeah, this is true. This is actually the Roomba, the Daho Caliphate, of course. Mm-hmm. With Sheikh, Boy Meets Mini, and Amir Zayn. Oh, man. What do we need? We need to wait for these fast belts. And I guess a bunch of other shit. Okay, so in the meanwhile, what we're going to try to figure out is to essentially see how we can loop back sprouts. Into the process here. The reason why we need to loop back sprouts, I think I may just, because we can't use splitters, because splitters take damage. They are a logistical piece that can take damage. So, since these things are not only going to be acting as our protective barrier against the corrosive acids that are going to be coming in from here and here. Probably going to want a double layer of protection. Now we're going to leave this open because we kind of need it open. So we can't use splitters because I'm operating under the assumption this shit's probably going to be mostly covered in corrosive acids. And we do not want our stuff here to take a bunch of damage for no reason. Because that would mean we'd have to have constant shipments of repair kits, which would be annoying, and I don't want to deal with that. Although, honestly, I mean, we could stick it in here, but then the problem would be the bots themselves also taking damage, which would be annoying. Might need more than 500 underground. Let's just go with 1,000. What's up, Clay? Oh, dude, I love my Canadian Star Wars YouTuber goat just shitting on Ian Miles Chong, saying, "Hey man, just wondering how come no one interacts with your posts anymore. Very strange. Good luck." Because I believe Elon recently just unfollowed Ian Miles Chong. Very, very funny. Oman will have to behave just like everyone else, or we'll have to blow them up. Okay. Oh, okay, and I just remember the final point I wanted to say about the whole Templar thing. So, him commenting on the video live, because I know why he did it, because he commented on that shit live to just complain about it being too long. Brother, he was doing that because he was trying to look for content to talk about, which is extremely fucking pathetic. Very, very fucking funny. And then I proceed to shit on him in his chat. Yeah, he was complaining about the length of the fucking video as well. Okay, like, Templar, I know that, like, math is not exactly your strong suit, but you went through about, 2.5 to 3 minutes of the fucking segment that I had on you, and you made a 26-minute video out of it, okay? 26 fucking minutes. Alright? I went through the entirety of your 26-minute video, and talked about it for about an hour and a half, because that's just how many lies you told in it. So if we want to do some, like, simple math, you took 8 times the amount of time to talk about the shit I was saying about you, while I took about 3 times the amount. So I don't know, in terms of, like, just sheer proportion, who's worse? It's you, motherfucker. Yes, he decided to show up, leave a comment on the video of me just basically shitting on him like a complete moron. And he did that while he was live. And I believe it was between segments. He wanted to go over my response video on him, on his fucking stream, but then he pussied out because it was too long. Because he admitted to not even watching the fucking video. So, very, very funny. Just very, very cowardly. That's true, Boy Meets Minnie. Oh, he pulled the video lot up on his fucking stream? Really? That's even more embarrassing than for him. That's an embarrassment. Okay. This will be remembered. Well, it would appear that that means we're going to have to start to shit on Tactical Templar again because he decided to pull a video up live on his fucking goddamn stream. Well, well, well. Just the Justice Department launches criminal investigation into Trump accuser E. Jean Carroll. That's definitely going to go somewhere. Oh yes, the content wars is on. Where's this dumbass FOD? When does he pull it up, Boy Meets Minnie? Because he pulls it up after I got into chat with him. If he doesn't do it before that, then I don't give a shit. Because the video that he pulled up was his own video. I need to also drop off that train to copy and paste the schedules. Need to do that as well. Thank you, Points Mini. Lovely. But yes, he was in between looking for, I don't know, dog shit content to react to or some shit. I mean, if Templar wants to get into a flame war, we can get into a flame war. That's fine. Yeah, his stream is boring. I should know. I watched one of his segments. It's boring. I will respond to that in kind probably tomorrow, just so I can double check the claim. Because if he is mentioning explicitly my name in his video or at any point in time or whatever, then I'm going to go in. I don't give a shit. So we shall see. Right. Now, we need to factor some fucking Oreos. An absolute cinema. Ugh. The game is fucking chugging now. It's because of the sheer amount of entities we have. Yeah, that's not good. Our FPS and UPS is at about 20. Ugh. It's It's mostly because of just the sheer amount of stuff that we have all over the place and the amount of plants we have. She is a chuggin'. We may have too many planets. That's what I was also thinking as well. But for someone like Tactical Templar, you don't really need to pull up a ton of fucking studies to prove his stuff. He's just trying to attack me personally. But if he's complaining about the length of the fucking video, that's totally fine. This next one is definitely not going to be anywhere near as fucking long. Honestly, I'm not going to do the red light, green light stuff like Birdman did, Clay, whatsoever. I'm not going to do that. Because Asmongold did not give a fuck about the red light, fucking green light. So, I'm not going to bother with it either. Now, that is probably going to happen there. Do I have enough high-pressure science packs to be able to get these bad boys, is my question. Let's see. Prod mod 4, prod mod 5. See if we can get some other stuff as well. Because an extra 5% productivity coming from these productivity modules is going to be very, very strong. We'll have to just ship in gold plates. I'm just going to insult him. I don't care. He can, like, cry, moan, and complain about, like, how I'm not treating him honestly. Like, bitch, you don't treat anyone honestly. You don't care about honesty. You could give less of a flying fuck about that. Honesty is anathema to your being. So personally, I could care less. You spent the whole time in your dumbass video barely even engaging with any of the points that I was saying, and also slandering me as well. So, fuck you. Suck my dick. Ugh. Ancient Greek statues are nude, primarily due to cultural concepts of heroic nudity and arte, celebrated the human form as the ultimate symbol of beauty, strength, and moral virtue. AKA, the Greeks were fucking gooners. Because he tried to do like the whole conflationary bit, saying that I was conflating Renaissance art with fucking gooner shit. It's like, first off, no, I was talking about the basics of art history and instances of societies in ancient times making artwork that was incredibly fucking goon baited, which the Greeks did all the fucking goddamn time. They did that constantly. But he conflated it with like Renaissance sculptures of Greek statues of like Athena. It's like those are not the kind of statues they were making during Renaissance. During the Renaissance era, you fucking idiot. They made those during the Hellenistic period, when the Greeks were actually fucking pagans. Dumbass. But he doesn't understand that, because again, he's an idiot. And the Greeks very often made their statues nude because they were humanists and gooners. You would know this if you've done any fucking reading at all of Greek history, which I have done reading of Greek history. So I know about this. In fact, I've actually taken, it was an entry-level course, it was an elective I had, but I have taken a course about Greek history, so I actually know a decent amount about Greek history. The Templar doesn't because he's stupid. And it appears that we have now acquired our prod mod 4s, which means it's time for the, oh boy, the grand replacement of a lot of our fucking modules, which is going to be a task in of itself. A task that's going to take a very, very long fucking time. And will require the shipping of thousands upon thousands upon thousands of productivity modules. And I mean thousands of them. Because we have to do this for every fucking planet. Ugh, excuse me. Dude, I love it when random VGC players shit on all these, like, partisan political hacks all the time. Some dumbass is like 6 months without Charlie. A random VGC player pops up in my feed. Try 2 months without life orb. That is funny. So fucking good. Just because there's no life orb in Pokemon Champions, that's why. Trains. Where's the train? And to send down all of these belts as well. We also need more roboports. Alright, where are those trains? Oh, we're gonna hop into this one. You. Okay. So in our great book, trains DIY. Oh, fine. There's a depot as well. Oh, it's purely interrupt based. Interesting. Fascinating. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So this one will be for lead. No stops with this frame if this name exists. Let's get rid of that. We don't need this, I think. Okay, it's a wild card. Okay, this card changes. Okay, I understand now. If we rename this to wild card. It shouldn't be anything. The wild card symbols is what I want. Actually, hold on. This one is meant to be the, this is the iron train. Okay. We can fix this. Oh, that's not the right one. So, okay, the reason why this thing is basically not working, this is purely, we get rid of the interrupts because we don't need the interrupts. Those are unnecessary. So, this thing, what it's doing right now, is it's trying to essentially find where its current provider is. And how the system basically works is there are combinators that are capable of reading the insides of these chests to be able to determine what item is actually inside of that chest. It can count the amount of items within that chest. It can also intelligently request for the appropriate trains in order to be able to do that. It's completely and totally smart. Obviously, since we do not have anything in this train at the moment, or anything in these chests, it's not going to work, because it'll be like, well, you're telling me to go to this location when I have absolutely no idea what on earth that thing is. I don't know what this is. I'm very, very confused. This thing just does not exist whatsoever. What's up, Matt? Fuel supply refueling station. All I need is just the station itself. I was reading a ton. Apparently, people with lighter tone eyes have a higher tolerance of alcohol. I don't know if it's true or it's just made up bullshit. I honestly have no fucking idea. Your guess is about as good as mine, Matt. this isn't the refueling station. Oh, God damn it. Your guess, Matt, is about as good as mine. Okay, that's called refueling. Honestly, do we need to have... I think we can just cut out the refuel interrupt and just use this as the interrupt instead. I don't think it has to be that smart. I think that's unnecessary. We'll just do a little bit of cutting out of stuff. And it functions because of the fact that it's trying to figure out how to get there, but it can't because there's currently a train there with a train limit of 1. Okay, so that interrupt is now working properly. Fantastic. Very good for us. Also, it's the copper train that's here, not the... whatever. There have been a lot of goofs and gaffes that have happened here. Okay, lovely. We don't need this. This is unnecessary. Didn't want you to pick those up.
Very cool that that works, folks.
Okay, book, trains, DIY, copper ore. You, that is currently at the refueling station, are the copper ore train. We do not need the depot or the refuel. We don't need it to be that smart. We can make it a little stupid. So it's confused and it doesn't know what to do because there's no copper in any of the chests. So it's like... You're telling me to go request for a certain thing, but I have no idea what to request for. I'm a little confused. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. So the train is a little confused. That's fine. That's normal. Because these things, with the providers, will tell the whole signal saying, hey, this is what's in here. This is what we're providing. And the requesters would be like, well, I'm requesting that because we need it. Because our restores are empty or blah, 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 blah. And then it'll send the train that's at the station to go to the provider to get the fucking, well, the goods. Does this make sense? It's meant to be very, very smart. But I am not the smartest. Or honestly, we are just dumbing it down a little bit. Because we don't need it to be that smart. It's very smart, but we don't need it to be that smart. It's too smart for our own purposes, basically. It's good that it's smart, but it doesn't need to be that smart. Okay, so we'll fix the lead train. Lead. We do not need the depot. I assume the depot is quote-unquote a resting sort of location. We do not need a resting location, and the reason why we don't need a resting location is because, we are not making an expansive train network because it is unnecessary. We don't need that. Okay, now for the one for iron ore. We just took care of the one for copper, and then there's caloric fuel and stone. And they also change colors appropriately based off of whether they're requesting or providing, which I think is very, very, very intelligent. Okay, I don't really understand why Katie Miller... Okay, so there was some Democrat... The Democrats decided to say that Stephen Miller is an ugly fuck. Based and objectively true, right? Immediately, the Republicans decided to have a complete fucking screed about it. And decided to immediately basically try to dox the individual... who is who works, or rather the intern that works the Democrats' social media account on Twitter, and they're trying to claim that she looks ugly because she's like sad and unhappy. I don't know, man. It's pretty fucking desperate, I'm gonna be honest. It's just weak. It's weak, it's beta, it's liberal, it's cucked. Very beta, very liberal, very cucked, folks. And they're trying to make the claim that she's ugly while doing this in defense of fucking Stephen Miller, of all people. And it's just like, dog, that's not really gonna be... That's not really the play that you think it is. I'm gonna be honest. It really is not. I didn't want you to pick that up, silly goose. Okay, so that's all of the trains programmed. Lovely. Very good. Now, wanted to get that out of the way. Let's turn off the sound and take a look at this whole shebang. Boom, boom, boom. Ugh. All right, let's get started, shall we? As we continue to descend further and further into the infinite content mill, the metaphorical cycle of samsara that is the Birdman v. Asmongold debacle. And like I said before, with the previous video, Asmongold is really, really fucking stupid, and this all is spurning from the fact that Asmongold is being criticized for being incredibly fucking goddamn racist. Yeah, Birdman's at it again. Listen, Birdman, one of the biggest reasons why I respect the fuck out of Birdman is because he doesn't give a fuck. Just like myself. I also do not give a flying fuck, alright? If someone wants to chirp and say a bunch of stupid fuck shit, I'm just going to name them, make a video about them, and just talk about as much shit as fucking possible. That's really, really about it, right? And Asmongold is certainly the individual who deserves to have a lot of fucking shit talked about him, because he actively spreads a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation, and just complete utter falsities and lies about, shall we say, his detractors, for lack of a better term? Sure, why not? And he's also just like a massive fucking asshole. Yeah, he's also just a massive fucking piece of shit. And constantly just loves to fucking lie about his detractors. Constantly. And obviously, as the Birdman expected, Asmongold did not want to react to the hour-and-a-half long video that Birdman put out, where he very, very thoroughly and, shall we say, funnily, because I certainly thought it was hilarious, mostly because of how much of an idiot Asmongold was making himself to look like, just completely and utterly dismantling the quote-unquote arguments that fucking Asmongold had on the Birdman with his, like, I guess, like, counter video or whatever the fuck. Although, honestly, since Asmongold's a coward, and he streams, like, 8 hours a fucking day, pretty much every single day, there's, like, basically no excuse for him to not watch the Birdman's entire, like, hour-and-a-half long video, because, like, what the fuck else is he going to do besides, like, jerk off in a fucking corner on stream? Yeah, besides, like, just do that. So, obviously, he responded. He made himself look like an idiot. He didn't watch the entirety of the video because he's a fucking coward. So, you know what? We watched the entirety of the video. We have the patience to do it, such. We don't have much of a problem with doing that whatsoever. So, I guess, like, we are continuing rather with the metaphorical sort of cycle of samsara of just keep shitting on fucking Asmongold. I think, as the Birdman himself put it, at the very least, this is just a really, really fucking easy content mill for him. So, you know, fuck it. Let's just take a look at this.
As I predicted, Zach was too cowardly to respond to the video where he got thoroughly debunked again.
True.
He once again pulls the excuse that the video is too long, while no live streaming for what amounts to a full work day at a normal job. It's like, what the fuck are you even reacting to on stream if not a person bitch slapping you for the length of the first Shrek film? You have nothing.
I'm gonna be honest here. I think the only things that fucking Asmongold really reacts to is just like dumb fucking clips, maybe like idiot fucking Fox News segments or some shit. I don't know, maybe like the president jingling some keys at him or something. I don't really know, man. I've never watched an Asmongold video or whatever. I would rather do anything else besides watch an Asmongold fucking video, because again, that shit fucking sucks, man. And he is just incredibly unintelligent and very, very, like, boring to listen to.
Else to do. You do nothing else but talk about people on stream. Your excuses may work on those that follow you, but for everyone else, it's looking like you're afraid of acknowledging criticism. You claim to farm people for content, but apparently you're too scared to build the barn. I guess you're afraid of people that will actually farm you back. Anyway, he basically skims through the video, which is definitely how you respond to someone criticizing you. Very honest. Not scared of what's being said at all. But even him skimming through the video has produced hilarious results, and that's what we're going to take a look at in today's episode of The Infinite Regress. Take it away, Mr. Hoyt.
Birdman posted this? No. Birdman posted again.
Mm-hmm.
Destroying Asmongold for 1.5 hours. Well, he took my advice. I'm not gonna sit around and react to a fucking video that's an hour and a half long.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, immediately. Like, what fucking advice was he, like, did you give him about not to make the video as long or some shit? Like, what what advice? And if anything, if you're the type of fucking dude who has to immediately just be like, too long, you're following my advice and not making the fucking video as long. You should just basically do whatever idiotic fucking bullshit that I say. It's just like, brother, like, you're already fucking starting to cope out immediately before the video has even started, dude. Yeah, this is the exact same shit that fucking Tactical Templar did on my fucking goddamn video, where he's just like, it's too long, I don't want to look at it, yada yada yada. And he, I don't know, decides to be like, I'm gonna give you advice, you should make your video shorter. It's like, very, very cool. Thank you.
Your thoughts and opinions have precisely zero effect on my video making process. You can respond, or you can hide, cope, and send your audience at me. None of that will affect me or how I decide to respond. As you can see, I am still here, standing on all 10 toes, ready to bitch slap you again. I said in that video that I'm aware that you're too chicken shit to actually respond to the whole thing, which is why it doesn't feature the start and stop buttons. Not that you would abide by them anyway. But that doesn't mean everyone else is afraid to watch the video, Zach. It's called exposing the grift, after all. And as such, everyone else saw me beat you into some...
Sorry, I'm gonna have to say this real fucking goddamn quick. But someone like fucking Asmongold is way too much of a fucking coward in order to face criticism or anyone sort of criticizing any of his fucking positions, because if you were to try to debate him or get him to debate, he knows probably in the like very, very recesses and part of his fucking subconscious that he cannot substantiate any of his fucking claims. He can't do it because of various reasons. Because he's an idiot. That's, like, generally speaking, the biggest reasoning for as to why Zachariah Hoyt over here, as the Birdman would say, is just uninterested in engaging with really much of anything that the Birdman really has to say, because he knows that he can't just lie and essentially just lie to his audience. He can't necessarily just, if there's like unironic fucking facts just being laid out to him, he can't just try to argue his way out of it, because he does not know how to argue. Because unfortunately, to be able to argue, to be able to have a fucking take, you unironically kind of need a brain to be able to do that. And Asmongold, as we all know, does not have a brain.
Mission, and everyone else will use my arguments against your lies and bad talking points when you predictably keep making them. And everyone else will recognize that you can't handle being dunked on point by point and have to rely on others to do your dirty work because you're too stupid and or cowardly to do it yourself. Oh, I can put you in a blender in a short video or a long one. It makes no difference to me. But at Warcraft Raiden still had a tangible hairline. I have videos...
Just crazy pull, huh? Just randomly click the point of video.
So as I said, he's just skimming...
Really, just like randomly fucking clicking in parts of the video, dude. There's a lot of fucking preamble and a lot of other sort of stuff that is necessary, is kind of necessary to go over, so you can, like, you know, have a fair discussion. But then again, we are talking about Asmongold here, someone who is fundamentally uninterested in having fair or honest discussion.
Skimming through the video, which makes very little sense. My assumption is that since his audience have been melting down over the video, and yes, they have, he had no choice but to address it, and this is his roundabout way of doing that. A white flag, in other words. Do you notice how these numbers don't add up to 100? Right, because this is acceptance rate within a subgroup, not the...
So we're going over the, I suppose, the part of the video where Asmongold does not sort of understand how graphs work. Basically, very, very many such cases of where Asmongold has a, shall we say, a difficult time with understanding graphs. But basically, the graph that he pulled out up on his stream when the, I suppose, to the response of the initial 17-minute Birdman video, was it I think it was about 17 minutes. He, like, basically soyed the fuck out really, really hard, brought out this, like, pre-prepared graph, thinking that he was inherently debunking the debunking of the Birdman against his, the overstated sort of a case against... Oh, not a case against, per se, but basically the overstatement of the college admission records for black people in comparison to that of Asians and white people, because again, I'm going to reiterate this point. Asmongold is really fucking stupid, and he does not know how to read. Yeah, he's very stupid, and he does not know how to read. Asmongold, the reason why that point of yours was very, 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 very fucking stupid is because you believe that that graph essentially says that that is the sum total of people with those MCAT scores and also GPAs that got administered into university programs for doctors programs, right? To become medical doctors. He thinks that those are a sum total of the percentage of people, when that is not the case. It is a percentage per each fucking subgroup. Because if you go through the actual numbers of what that graph is essentially saying, it basically confirms Birdman's fucking position. That being, in comparison to Asians and fucking white people, they disproportionately have, in terms of the amount of numbers, more people who are signing up for doctoral fucking programs in comparison to that of fucking black people, right? And even in the initial part of the video itself, Birdman fucking explains this, but Asmongold is too stupid to understand that.
You can't read the graph. Oh my god.
I think Zach believes his theatrics are fooling people, which is cute. But remember, he's skimming through my video, a video where I thoroughly explain that graph, provide the source for that graph, and even show the students' actual school choices from 2014, a time period that graph covers. No, it's Zach.
Again, like, Asmongold, basic fucking numbers, man. There are hundreds of more Asian students who applied and got accepted into those programs in comparison to that of black students that got accepted into those fucking programs. And we can point to reasonings for as to why that is the case. And that is because, in terms of their school resources, since black people and black districts and black school districts especially are not going to have anywhere near as much funding in comparison to fucking white schools, because again of something funny that George W. Bush did during his fucking administration with No Child Left Behind, and that is tying federal funding to test scores, as well as the fact that schools get their primary budget from where exactly? Oh, property taxes. Which means if you live in an inner city hood or black neighborhood, the property taxes that you're going to be getting from that area is going to be significantly fucking lower. Which means the school is not going to have anywhere near as high of a budget in comparison to its white or Asian or whatever other fucking counterparts. Which means it makes sense that there are going to be a lot of black students who are not going to be able to have the grades or the test scores in order to be able to apply for a lot of these doctoral fucking programs, right? It's pretty fucking simple. It makes a lot of sense. It's called, the byproducts of a lot of socioeconomics that have happened throughout the history of the United States of America. But then again, you would just call that cope.
Zach that can't read that graph, as he will demonstrate for us in a few seconds.
Medical school acceptance rates in the United States from 2013 to 2016. If you had a score of 24 to 26, if you were Asian, you had a 6% chance to
That's for the MCAT scores, right? And that's not a percentage chance, but whatever.
accepted.
Wrong.
If you were black, you had a 56% chance to get accepted.
Wrong.
I want you guys to see this because this is how unbalanced and how unfair it is.
Wrong.
So this is a part of his original stream on Twitch.
So yeah, again, we've already talked about this before. If that were the case, then the percentages on those graphs would add up to exactly 100%. If you do the math on them, they do not add up to 100%, which means, again, because he thinks it's a sum total, it's not a fucking sum total. It is the percentage of applicants who have those exact fucking scores who end up getting accepted into those fucking programs with those specific subgroups and subcategories, right? And if you look at it in terms of a raw number by number interpretation of the data, you'll see that black people are still lower in comparison. I think it's in every fucking subcategory and subgroup within those graphs are still lower in comparison to that of Asian and white applicants.
Which that was not included in the edited video that I responded to on YouTube. And that's fortunate for him, because it would have been further evidence that he is really fucking stupid. As I explained in my video, this graph is showing the acceptance rate within a subgroup. 6 plus 8 plus 31 plus 56 adds up to 101, not 100. So clearly, these groups are not...
Whoa, Birdman, are you trying to do math? Are you trying to teach basic arithmetic to a fucking streamer? That's a big fucking mistake.
Competing with each other. It gets worse the higher the MCAT scores go. 21 plus 29 plus 60 plus 81 is 191, and 58 plus 63 plus 83 plus 94 is 298. If these were the acceptance rates of these groups versus each other, the percentages would add up to 100. They don't, because these are acceptance rates within a subgroup, not the chance you had to be accepted, as this moron said.
If you were Asian, you had a 6% chance to get accepted.
Wrong.
As I said in the other video, the
Oh, would you look at that? Asmongold is wholeheartedly incapable of reading a graph because of, again, the fact that he's a fucking idiot.
acceptance rate for black students is higher because there are less black students that apply. There are more white and Asian applicants than black applicants. All of a sudden, this idiot...
Oh my god, that's the exact same I also said in the original fucking video, as well as in this fucking video. So again, it makes perfect sense why there are going to be less black applicants as a byproduct of the fact that there's just not as many of them applying for those fucking goddamn positions, which is why you see those, I suppose for lack of a better term, disparities in terms of the numbers there. Sure, I guess.
Doesn't understand per capita. If a pool has 100,000 people and 10% are accepted, that's 10,000 people. If pool B has 5,000 people and 20% are accepted, that's 1,000 people. If pool C has 100 people and 100% are accepted, well, that's 100 people.
100.
Percentages tell you next to nothing. What matters are the actual numbers. Zach is looking at the percentages and not the actual number of applicants accepted. In 2014, there were 89 black applicants at Howard University, the medical school that had the most black applicants. That same year, UCLA had over 400 Asian applicants, and UCLA was the school with the most Asian applicants. Since we know the percentage of those accepted, all you have to do is plug in the numbers, and for the sake of clarity, we'll use the numbers for the most qualified students, aka those with MCAT scores of at least 30 as per the graph. This means in 2014, UCLA accepted roughly 250 Asian students, and Howard accepted 84 black students. Now, these numbers are not...
So that's that should be pretty fucking goddamn clear there, Asmongold, and should be a very clear example of the disparities in terms of the amount of black students who apply to these fucking programs in comparison to that of Asian or white students in comparison. So again, constantly bringing up the quote-unquote, the unfairness in terms of the amount of fucking Asian students who are not accepted within these fucking programs, these percentages, is false to begin with. Because again, the number of Asian students that apply to those programs is significantly higher, just as a number, or rather as like a cohort, I suppose, of people in comparison to that of black people. And for the reasonings that I've just mentioned before, because of the fact that schools within black neighborhoods, public schools mostly, have significantly fucking less funding in comparison to that of their white counterparts, because of the stuff that I've explained before. The fact that schools get their primary funding vehicles through test scores because of No Child Left Behind, so they need to make sure that they maintain good fucking test scores, and also because of the fact that the primary funding vehicle for a lot of schools throughout the United States of America is property taxes, which again, that has a systemic bias for whiter fucking neighborhoods, for richer fucking neighborhoods.
Going to be exact for two reasons. The first is that the graph Zach is using is for a range of 4 years. The numbers will fluctuate year to year, and these percentages may be higher or lower each year. These are averages. The second reason is that the graph represents all medical schools. So Howard could have only accepted 50 black students that year, and other schools made up the difference to give us the average we see on Zach's graph. Again, we are talking about averages over a 4-year span, so the numbers I've given you may be slightly higher or lower depending on these factors. If I were to show black applicants for the 4 years of Zach's graph at Howard University specifically, it would be 93 students in 2013, 89 students in 2014, 101 students in 2015, and 111 211 students in 2016, for a total of 394 black applicants in the time span of Zach's graph. This is literally less than the number of Asian applicants UCLA had in a single year.
Yeah, that's in one fucking goddamn year. And I bet if you were to add up all those fucking Asian applicants, for example, more than likely there'd probably be at least fucking 2,000 of them. Maybe, probably close to 2,000. High thousands for sure.
But if we're assuming that all of these cohorts were the most qualified, we have an estimated 370 black students accepted by Howard University over 4 years. Just for the sake of being thorough, in 2013, UCLA had 405 Asian applicants. In 2014, there were 430. In 2015, there were 475. And in 2016, there were 557, for a total of 1,867 Asian applicants. If we assume they were the most qualified, this equates to an estimated 1,083 Asian applicants that were accepted to UCLA over 4 years. Lower percentage, significantly higher number of students. This is all on top of the fact that Asian and black medical students are applying to completely different schools. So the fact that Howard accepted 94% of black applicants has no effect on Asian students because Asian medical students don't apply.
Yeah, because they don't fucking apply there. That's also another factor, right? Because again, certain fucking students are going to apply to certain fucking schools because of historical reasons, blah, 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 blah. A lot of black students, for example, are going to be applying to more HBCUs. Why? Mostly because of fucking segregation and a lot of various history behind that specifically, but does Asmongold know about any of that stuff? No.
Apply to Howard University. Asian students preferred schools in California overall, mostly at UCLA. And at UCLA specifically, there were only 29 black applicants in 2013. If we apply our numbers to UCLA, in 2013, there would have been about 27 black students accepted to UCLA Medical and 235 Asian students accepted. Now, let's be silly and use the least qualified members of Zach's graph, which would be those numbers on the left. This would mean UCLA accepted 16 black students and 24 Asian students. No matter how you look at this, black medical students are not preventing Asian medical students from being accepted into college. Other Asians and white people are. White acceptance rates are higher than Asian acceptance rates across the board, and they apply to a lot of the same schools at comparative rates. Using UCLA...
Because, again, there's just a higher number of them, as is being explained here by the Birdman, who are applying to those fucking goddamn schools. That's why. But then again, we are trying to expect Asmongold here to understand, like, basic fucking arithmetic, and again, the motherfucker is a college dropout. Him, like, expecting that dude right there to fucking understand basic fucking arithmetic is, like, an impossibility. It's not fucking happening.
UCLA, once again, there were 246 white applicants in 2013. If we assume the most qualified, there would have been 155 white students compared to 235 Asian students, a much better comparison than the 27 black students of that same year. This is why you don't go by percentages, Zach. This is why you do the actual research, Zach. This is why the theatrics aren't working, Zach. You can't read this graph.
True.
Weaponized yapping.
Agreed. We know that voter ID laws don't protect against voter fraud because voter fraud is not an actual problem in the...
No, you're not. You're even going against voter ID because the black people don't know where the DMV is? Are you serious?
What the fuck does that even mean? Because black people don't understand where the DMV is? What the fuck does black people not knowing where the DMV is have to do anything with voter ID and also fucking fraud, dumbass? Okay, if we want to talk about all of these systemic issues, generally speaking, that happen in terms of black people being able to vote, here's some fucking examples, right? That don't play into voter ID fraud or voter fraud whatsoever. Because again, the Brookings Institute and other institutes have done examinations into voter fraud. It is a non-fucking issue. They've done like a study over 38 fucking goddamn years. How many instances of voter fraud did the Brookings Institute find? Not even in the hundreds. Not even in the hundreds. It's such a non-fucking goddamn issue, but these like the ranting ravings of these fucking morons make it seem like it's basically the end of the fucking universe, that voter fraud is a fucking thing, when it's not. It's really not that big of a deal. It's such like a minuscule amount of people who are doing voter fraud, and we can point to examples of recent instances of voter fraud happening within the United States of America. And who are the people that mostly did that in 2020? It was the Republicans who mostly did that in 2020, where there have been a couple of articles of Republicans voting twice and filling in the ballots of dead relatives of theirs to vote for Trump. There was 2 cases of this happening in 2020. But are any of these people going to mention that at all? No, of course not. Because that would have to be an honest fucking take. And we all know that these people are not fucking honest whatsoever. Yes, this is meant to be a distraction from gerrymandering and intimidation. You are correct there, Boy Meets Mini. Because those are the actual things that are doing the most in terms of black disenfranchisement of voting within elections. That and also the closing of polling locations. Republican state legislators will constantly close polling locations throughout the entirety of, mostly where this is tested is Georgia, but throughout the American fucking South, in order to make it more difficult for a lot of Democrats, specifically black people, within the Democratic sort of cities and strongholds that exist in these fucking red states, to be able to vote. That's the fucking issue. And that is, broadly speaking, why voter ID is, generally speaking, seen as racist. Because its purpose is not to take care of voter fraud. All the studies have shown that voter fraud, not really that big of an issue. It's meant to disenfranchise others from being able to vote. Whether it be, of course, Hispanic people or black people. Mostly black people is who they're trying to target with this.
You see, this is why Zach doesn't want to respond to videos like mine. He can't. He can't even keep up with what's being said. He heard me say that voter fraud is not an actual problem, and his response was, he's against voter ID because black people don't know where the DMV is.
It's not even related.
That's not remotely a response to the claim that I just made. And he's doing the overacting again, using theatrics in lieu of an actual argument, because he doesn't have an actual argument. You see this in real life all the time. When two people are about to fight, the one that can't fight tries to speak very loudly in an attempt at intimidating the other person out of the fight, because the loud person is scared and can't actually fight. It's very...
Whoa, you're giving way too much fucking credit there with that video to Asmongold there, the Birdman. I'm gonna be honest there. Asmongold wishes he was as even like mildly muscular as that pencil neck over there. I guarantee you, if that motherfucker took his shirt off, it'd be nothing but a bunch of like skinny flub. He would look like that one Star Wars character with like the extremely long, lanky body with like a giant fucking beer gut hanging out of him.
Very simple, Zach. Respond to the claim and evidence I presented. Voter fraud is not a real issue in the United States. The source for my claim is a right-wing think tank that provided documented cases of voter fraud over a span of 38 years that numbered in the tens. It appears that our elections are exceedingly secure, so there is no actual need for voter ID law changes. What we do...
And again, we all know why the Republicans are constantly complaining about voter fraud is to implement more voter ID laws. For example, the SAVE Act, right? The SAVE Act is essentially, I'll say it, I don't really give a shit. It's a soft repeal of the fucking 19th Amendment. It would, if the SAVE Act were to be implemented as it were right now, millions of women would not be able to vote because they would need to have their fucking birth certificates and passports on them. That's also another thing as well, right? It's to try to have like some tangible form of ID. So basically, like, if you're expected to vote, you need to carry your passport all around you. Lots of people do not have their passports within the United States of America because it's kind of expensive to go get a fucking passport, and most people are not traveling outside of the United States of America. Why? Because they're fucking poor. So that also acts as another form of voter disenfranchisement, right? And most women, about 70 million of them, take the names of their spouses when they get married. And how the law is essentially written is that you have to have the full, complete original name of the person on the ID to be able to register to vote. Which means, for a lot of spouses who take the last name of either the wife or the husband, typically the husband, of course, that's going to make it such that a lot of women are not going to be able to vote because they're not going to have their fucking birth certificates on them at all times to go to fucking vote. That's the fucking issue. But then again, Asmongold is so much of a fucking incel that he unironically believes that white women are no longer white because he just hates them that much.
know is that those laws will suppress the vote of those in marginalized communities and the disabled. Nobody cares that you're a sociopathic moron whose best idea was being born. Address the argument being made. You can't, and you know you can't. This is why you run from debates. It's a tacit admission that you're stupid, and that anyone with an IQ that could be measured with a thermometer in the Antarctic could dress you down like a Thanksgiving turkey.
No, because, well, there's a reason why he is cowardly, right? And just like every other fucking conservative commentator, just to say this real quick, they used to do debates with left-wingers. Vosh and Destiny used to get debates all the time with fucking right-wingers. Even Hassan. They don't do it anymore for one reason and one reason only. Because every single time these right-wing fucking content creators, even in their like preferred format and sort of environment of the university sort of like debate format, well, they'll have like a random university kid come up with the microphone to try to get their own compilations or whatever. They get owned in that particular instance as well. It's a fucking embarrassment. There's been like several content creators, shout out to them, like Shark300 or like Demigloom or Alec Gunter, shout out to Alec Gunter, friend of the show, who have gone up to Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles to basically just completely dismantle their talking points and the dumbass fucking shit that they were talking about, and made them look like complete fucking morons.
Another moment, the dude got so mad about this. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is an AI voice, so I'm not even sure if this guy's black in the first place, but who knows?
Let's cut the shit, Zach. My channel is older than yours. I was the #1 ranked Blanca player in the world back when you were doing your first World at Warcraft raid and still had a...
I mean, again, we like, unironically, the Birdman streams the webcam. How would he be an AI voice? Because it just doesn't make any... Like, because you can just check that. That's, like, not very, very difficult to check. I assume you can probably find the Birdman's... Like, literally at the end of the fucking video that you're looking at, Birdman goes on fucking cam to call you a fucking racist. You can just check that. It's actually really, really fucking easy, but he can't do it.
Tangible hairline. I have videos older than your entire YouTube channel. I can't possibly have been an AI before AI existed, dumbass.
In the comments, man. Motherfucker, do you know who I am? You're looking at the #1 Blanca player on...
Hey, look. It's... Guys, it's the AI voice. It's the Birdman. The AI Birdman. Or something. Okay, bro.
PlayStation in the world.
Is that him?
Me. Look up the rankings for Street Fighter 4. Me. Now.
Currently, what does this have to do with the video? Yeah, so this is the reason why we don't have time to watch an hour-and-a-half video, is because you make it aside for talking about where you're ranked in Street Fighter 4. By the way...
Bro, you unironically fucking brought up in your dumb fuck video claiming that the Birdman is an AI voice. So that's why he's saying that he's not an AI. Jesus Christ, man. He's just really fucking dumb, guys.
Isn't Street Fighter 6 out?
Lot to...
He was playing Street Fighter 4 at the time when it was out, and that's what he recorded videos on earlier in his fucking career. Playing Blanca or something. Okay, whatever. Stupid.
To unpack here. First, Zach claims to not have time to respond to my video because of clips like this one. The problem with this line of reasoning is manifold, but again, Zach streams for 6 to 8 hours every single day. My video would have been 1/8 of his normal streaming time. He literally has nothing better to do than to react to shit on stream all day, every day. The guy had to be banned on Twitch to fucking finally go to the dentist. This is an excuse that is fooling no one.
That's
Second,
true.
That clip is from another video. The reason I placed that clip in this video is because you literally accused me of being an AI voice, you stupid motherfucker. I'm showing that, no, I am a flesh and blood human using my real voice, and giving the reason I use the specific avatar that I use. 2 birds, 1 stone. That section was less than 3 minutes in a video that is 1 hour and 35 minutes long. Third, you actually made a good point, but for the wrong reason. Let's hear it again.
By the way, isn't Street Fighter 6 out?
Yes, Zach. Street Fighter 6 is out. And that's precisely why me showing Street Fighter 4 footage on YouTube makes sense for the point I'm making. I've been here a while.
Yes. It really is. It's just one of those things where you just have to like sit there and just ask yourself like one question. Asmongold viewers, why do you guys fucking follow this guy? He's clearly a incredibly idiotic, stupid fucking embarrassment of a person who keeps like tripping over his own fucking shoelaces constantly and making himself look as dumb as fucking possible. Like, it's just... Stupid, man.
I am making the point that I existed on YouTube far longer than AI voices have. Holy fuck, dude. It's like you need a neon sign pointing at another neon sign pointing at the point in order for you to get it.
Your account is older
You
than
can
his
get some
account.
keys.
Joined October 31st, 2008. August 2008. So I actually joined YouTube.
Bro, why are you fucking pulling up the secondary account? Bro, this is on fucking... We're fucking zooming in on this. Bro, you're on Zach Rar, you dumbass motherfucker. You don't fucking post on that channel, you dumbass. You post on Asmongold TV, you idiot. Okay, dude.
Because August happened before October, that would mean that my account would be older than his. You see how that math works?
Yo, nice fucking editor zoom in to make yourself look as fucking stupid as possible. But then again, your editor is a dumb fucking Nazi and racist like yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. When your sycophantic audience cries at me, telling me that I'm irrelevant and that you're richer and more successful than me, they were talking about the Zach Rar channel, a channel with less views than mine, barely more subscribers, and one you haven't uploaded to in 4 years, a period of time I didn't even know you existed. My mistake. I assumed that when they were telling me that you had 4 million subscribers, they were referring to the Asmongold TV channel. You know, the channel you regularly upload to and was created in 2019. I guess I should have referred to a dead channel that nobody actually watches. Silly me. You know, I actually laughed out loud at this. These people thought I was talking about when he joined YouTube instead of this channel. I'm pretty sure I said channel in that video.
I'm gonna be honest here. I'm just gonna be really frank. I think it makes a lot of sense that these idiots would not understand that point. To be quite honest, because again, we are dealing with really, really, really stupid individuals here.
If we're really doing this, I got a channel from 2006 when this bitch first started. And no, I will not be elaborating any further.
This guy that's number one boosted
Pepe.
to get past me.
Of course. The guy that's higher ranked than you is cheating. I guess he must be racist.
Dude, it's because the servers are basically dead in Street Fighter. How old is Street Fighter 4, right? Like, didn't it come out in, like, the early aughts? I'm just curious. So I'm just going to look that up real quick. Just out of my own curiosity. I mean, just like real quick, real fucking quick, dude. Street Fighter 4 was launched in Japan, in Japanese arcades in 2008, and then it came to PlayStation 3 and Xbox in 2009. Do you really fucking think that there are still support for fucking servers at this current juncture by is it Capcom that makes Street Fighter, I believe? I don't remember exactly who fucking makes Street Fighter. It's irrelevant. Okay, yes, it is Capcom. I was correct. Do you think that Capcom is still, like, supporting that specifically? And from what I understand, this individual up here got into the rank 1 as Blanca fairly fucking recently, so it should make sense that it was probably a boost. Because, again, the servers aren't being supported anymore, and no one's playing the game anymore because the game is old. Okay, dude.
Racist too.
What are these weird correlations you're attempting to make? I call racist, and this ought to be fun. I love talking about Street Fighter. The point you made about Street Fighter 6 is coming back to haunt you. Yes, I know the person above me cheated. At the time I retired from the game, I retired in first place. This was a spot I held for years. By the time Street Fighter 5 released, the game was dead. It would take hours to get a single match in ranked, and if you did get a match, it was someone that was significantly lower ranked than you. In Street Fighter 4, there are multiple letter ranks you can get. As you can see, I'm in the A+ grade. Your battle points are what determine your letter rank. In a healthy game, an A+ rank could expect those with A's, B+, and B's to join in ranked matches. The letter rank determines how many battle points you receive after you win a fight. The closer to your rank the person you beat, the more battle points you receive. Only it's significantly worse for those of us in the A+ tier because we're the best players in the game and we're expected to win. The problem is that the game is dead. Even if you get a match, it would be against someone nowhere near the A+ rank. So even if you beat them, you would earn a single battle point. You need thousands to rank up. So the person above me should have been literally incapable of surpassing me without boosting. Because the game is dead, he'd only get minimal points for winning fairly, would lose 100 points for losing, and there is nobody playing the game. Remember, people were uploading videos of me on YouTube. Where are the videos of this guy on YouTube? So how can a person none of us have ever heard of reach A+ rank in a dead game? But if that's not doing it for you, here's a Facebook post I made back in 2017, calling out BCWBs for boosting to overtake me for the #1 rank. You can clearly see I'm stating the game is dead, everyone moved over to Street Fighter V, and I'm dominating the only person that was close in rank to me, who I called out for boosting. That person is currently ranked 3rd. Now, this Japanese guy, who wasn't even top 100 at the time I made this Facebook post, randomly comes out of nowhere and takes the #1 spot from me when everybody is playing Street Fighter 6. Yeah, he cheated.
So this is not a
I don't know. That seems pretty self-explanatory to me.
real ranking. I'm actually #1 in the world, and I had been #1 in the world for like 7 straight years.
That's his origin story.
Oh, come on, Zach. Let's not do
I mean, brother, like, your dumbass fans made the fucking claim that you had a dead fucking channel, and that's like the main reasoning for as to why you had a fucking earlier YouTube channel on fucking YouTube from a dead fucking secondary channel that you had. I mean, just stupid. He's just dumb.
that. I really, really, really don't think you want to go there.
By the way, he does sound totally different.
And black people are associated with crime in the United States.
Blanca deserves more respect. Well, you're looking at the respect.
That's the reason why people thought that it was different, is because it was different.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. Wait, Asmongold, do you not understand the concept of having 2 fucking microphones? Is that too much of like a difficult concept for you? That's how you thought it was an AI voice? Really? Shut the fuck up, dude. No way. There's no fucking way that your audience is stupid enough to think that it was an AI voiceover because the Birdman has 2 different fucking microphones. Jesus Christ, man.
Well, yeah, because I'm using 2 different microphones in 2 different recording environments. When I'm live streaming or reacting to something, you're hearing me on this, my Electro Voice RE20 dynamic microphone, in an untreated room where you're hearing reflections and reverberation. When I'm doing a voiceover, I'm in here, recording on my Neumann U87 AI, in a sound-treated booth. So you might need headphones for this next demonstration. I have brought out the microphone that I normally use for my voiceover, which is a Neumann U87 AI. It's an industry standard microphone. It's
That's a lot of money for a microphone.
Expensive. And this is my Electro Voice. This is what you're hearing me on. It's my Electro Voice RE20. It is a much cheaper microphone. It is a dynamic microphone. This is known as a large condenser microphone. They're going to sound completely different, especially in different spaces. But in an untreated room, this is kind of the microphone you want.
This is mic mocking. This is true boy
spinning. It's rejecting. I'm sorry, the sounds that are on the sides and everything that's behind. So
he's mic mocking, folks. He's
ultimate sound. I would say it's a bright microphone, but it's still not as clear and clean as this one. And I'm going to switch over to this microphone right now. Now you are hearing me on my Neumann U87 AI, and you'll notice that it is much crisper, much sharper, and it demonstrates the proximity effect. So you see, the closer I get to the microphone, the I guess more bassy the sound, and the further you get away from it, the more teenier the sound. It still sounds pretty good. I'm listening to it through my headphones, which is why I always have my headphones on when you see me streaming, because I'm listening to myself. So anyway, this microphone is extremely sensitive, and that's why you use this microphone in a treated space, because as you're probably hearing, it doesn't sound like when I'm in my booth. Still sounds good, but it doesn't sound like I'm in my booth. You're hearing the reflection of my voice off the walls, and that's why I don't...
Whoa, Birdman, we're going a little too far here. You're explaining concepts of physics to Asmongold, who's too fucking stupid to understand the properties of fucking waves. I mean, the dude can't even do basic fucking arithmetic, and we're explaining, listen, the mic mocking, we love the mic mocking, okay? Mog away, absolutely. Yeah, you're already over his fucking head. He doesn't give a fuck about this. But then again, this is the Birdman fucking special, where it's all about being incredibly, incredibly thorough. We're explaining the properties of fucking sound waves, how they bounce off of like surfaces and basic like concepts in physics. And I'm going to say this again, Asmongold, you completed high school, right? I don't know if you took physics within high school. I took physics in high school. The properties of sound waves was something that we've talked about within physics, right? How waves, generally speaking, behave when they hit certain surfaces, like what happens when they hit certain surfaces, and how to mathematically calculate their frequencies and whatnot. A bunch of formulas, blah, 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 standard shit like that. Very, very obvious. I don't think he's going to understand that. Or maybe he didn't fucking take physics. Maybe he didn't take any fucking sciences or something. Who really knows what Asmongold has done in his sort of like educational attainment? We knew he grew up fucking poor, which means his education was probably dog shit in comparison. We know that he also dropped out of fucking college because, again, He's a fucking idiot. And we all know that this jabroni is also wholeheartedly incapable of even being able to do the most basic of fucking arithmetic. Like, it's anathema to his fucking goddamn being. He can't fucking do it. It's too difficult for him. So it's just like, I don't know. We're doing like a physics lesson here for Asmongold, and I can guarantee that shit's already fucking gone right over his head.
Don't use this microphone outside of my recording booth. This is the one that I will use, and I'm going to switch back. Now we're back over to this microphone, and immediately you'll be able to hear the difference. There you go.
Oh, the difference.
Can you explain the crime rate of white people, Zach? Why are Asians better than you in this regard? You never faced the levels of historic marginalization of black people. You weren't forcibly taken from Europe and brought here to work against your will. You weren't terrorized in the streets and denied property and liberty.
Neither were you. Yeah, neither were you. What?
Amazing.
What? Nice fucking attempt at an Uno reverse card, you fucking dumbass. He's talking about historically speaking. Asmongold, do you know why there is 13% of the population within the United States of America is black? Yeah, pull out the fucking Uno reverse card. Do you know why 13% of the population within America is black? Oh, because they got taken from there as slaves from the western parts of Africa. It's crazy, I know.
This idiot just heard me refer to white people as a historical group, and his retort was, neither were you. I mean, do I even need to rebut this one? I feel like it's kind of obvious. You're the leader in nearly every single category in crime in this country. Why are white people committing all that crime?
The graph combines Hispanic crime with white. One problem with FBI data is that it groups non-Hispanic whites.
Okay, first off, why the fuck are we using another Imgur link, right? I believe I've also taken a look at these exact fucking statistics as well, right? So, first off, can we get like a full overview of the fucking graph? I just want to take a look at it. Do we have a source for the graph? Oh, that's a lot of fucking goddamn sources. None of these are fucking labeled whatsoever. I know exactly what fucking what graph is basically being used here, right? And even if you take out the Hispanic crime numbers, white Hispanic fucking crime numbers, guess what? White people still commit way more fucking goddamn crime because of the fact that there's a lot more fucking poor white people who live within the United States of America. Yes, I do agree with that, Boy Meets Many, but that's a whatever. Yeah, I can't believe that Birdman would betray us like this.
Leader in nearly every single category in crime in this country. Why are white people committing all that crime?
The graph combines Hispanic crime with white. One problem with FBI data is that it groups non-Hispanic whites with Hispanic whites into the white category. Holy shit! So it's not even true.
I love this.
Wait, okay, hold on. Because there's the zoom in. Is that number specifically being covered here? I'm not sure exactly what is being said here. So this is the white category, okay? So that's what, about 4.7 million, right? I know, I believe I have taken a look at these statistics before. If you were to take out the rest of these fucking numbers here, just do a little bit of simple fucking subtraction, right? Because again, there are white Hispanics, there are, of course, brown fucking Hispanics, there are black Hispanics, right? And a lot of those numbers will get combined together, but you can still see in terms of how many white Americans or how many black Americans have basically done the amount of fucking crime in the raw fucking numbers. If you just do a little bit of simple subtraction, everyone's got a fucking goddamn phone. You do as well, Asmongold. I know you probably have a phone. I mean, well, for fuck's sake, honestly, you're also on Google, okay? You can pull up a tab, start using the Google tab, the Google calculator to start typing in some numbers and doing some basic fucking arithmetic, okay? Really, really fucking easy and really, really fucking simple, okay? You can do the math. It's pretty easy. And you can calculate to see how many fucking people of a certain fucking demographic, right? Because again, if we're talking about the race of a person, or the ethnicity rather of the person, that being of course like white people in this instance, you can calculate that based off of that ethnicity, that white Americans still commit way more crime in comparison of that of black Americans in terms of every single fucking aspect, whether it be shoplifting, whether it be homicides, whether it be kidnappings, arson, all of them. I have gone over these exact FBI statistics before on the fucking stream. White people, I think, basically cleared black people in every single fucking instance in terms of the raw fucking numbers. Every single fucking instance of violent fucking crime metrics. I think the only one where black people did more crime in comparison to white people was, I think, only arson. And that's it. And it was like a difference of about 1 or 2 people. That's it. So it was virtually the same. Virtually the same. Hardly any change whatsoever. But then again, there's just not that much arson crime in general happening within the United States of America. So, again, the Birdman's point that he has here, talking about, man, I wonder why white people commit so much more crime in comparison to that of black people. Still fucking applies here, guys.
True.
I love this quote from white supremacists where they claim that crime data that makes white people look bad is because agencies are all grouping Hispanic people with the white people. First of all, a few clarifications. Hispanic is not a racial category. It is an ethnic category. Black people can be Hispanic and white people can be Hispanic. Laz Alonso is a black Hispanic and Cameron Diaz is a white Hispanic. Funnily enough, they're both of Cuban descent. Also, I have no idea the source of Zach's image where it claims the
There's a very, very obvious historical reason for as to why there are white and black Hispanics, Asmongold, and dumbass fucking white supremacists. It's called the Persians, not the Persians, but the Portuguese and the Spaniard empires. They're colonial empires throughout the entirety of Central and South America, where they imported a lot of slaves. That's why there's a lot of black Hispanic people, because they used to work at the plantations. Yeah.
FBI is grouping Latinos with the white cohort on this list, so when someone isn't showing you their source, you should always take what's being said with a grain of salt. Anyway, with this context in mind, the FBI accounts for this with their 2 groupings, race and ethnicity. They show that the total arrests for those that were Hispanic or Latino was 1.1 million. So
that's a little interesting. Look at these fucking numbers. Now, we can do, okay, listen, because we can take a look through this, right? Again, race, that of course being white or fucking black people, ethnicity, that being Hispanic or like Latino, right? Because again, the race is the skin color, the ethnicity is basically where they are from, that being of course either from Cuba or say Mexico or whatever, blah 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 blah, right? You can take that number and then subtract it. 1.1 million. Let's just go with, like, these are all white Hispanics. It's not going to be all of them, but let's just go with that for the sake of ease, based off of what we see here. 4.7 million minus 1.1 million is 3.6 million. That's still twice the amount of black or African Americans. Yeah. Still twice the amount. Cope and fucking seethe.
let's allow these white supremacists their talking point for a second. The total arrest for white people was 4.7 million.
Oh, hey.
Let's assume every single Latino they arrested was grouped with the white cohort and subtract 1.1 million from 4.7 million.
Obviously.
Well, that leaves us with 3.6 million. Literally still the most arrests on this list. It changes nothing. And that's assuming all 1 million Latinos were classified as white on this data. And that's ignoring that there are obviously black Latinos that were considered black here due to their skin color. White people are still out in front. Cope harder. Are you bored? Looking for something to do? At least black people have the excuse of being treated like shit. What's yours? And don't give me the excuse that you're the majority in this country, so you should be leading in crime. Japan and Korea are nearly homogenous, and those people still commit significantly less crime than white Americans. Why can't you be more like Asians?
And again, the reason why Birdman, I'm going to say, the reason why Birdman is talking about this consistently is because this motherfucker Asmongold, to start this whole debacle, for lack of a better term, basically mentioned how, quote-unquote, socioeconomics is a fucking cope. Turns out that's not the case, because why do white people commit more fucking crime in comparison to that of, well, Asian people? Because of socioeconomics. Because there's a lot more fucking poor white people in comparison to that of poor black people, or poor Asian people, or poor other people within the United States of America.
I think in some regards we should. I think that there can be levels of aggression that we shouldn't have. I think there are things that, for example, the Japanese or the Chinese do that are better. Like, yeah, it's true. Definitely. It's not that crazy.
Oh, no. You're not getting off that easy. The question is,
running away like a
is
coward.
it genetic? Is there something wrong with white people that, despite all the riches and advantages they have, they are still committing the most crime in the country? It's like, I know what I said is true. I only communicate data. My question was based on your ideology that these things are apparently genetic or inherent to the racial categories. So, why is it then
Which
that...
again, Asmongold has made the argument before in multiple fucking videos talking about how there is a... Because he parrots a lot of the fucking points from Richard Lynn, of all people, talking about how there is a, I suppose for lack of a better term, a black gene, like there's a black gene or genome within the black people that makes them purportedly do crime. And Asmongold has parroted those fucking talking points before.
White people commit the most crime in this country when Asians, who outnumber them in places like China, don't commit crime at nearly the same rates or in absolute numbers. What's the explanation?
This is the data.
Now, the actual... Listen, just to get this out of the way, just for myself personally, because the Birdman also knows what the reasoning for this is. The reasoning for this is, and say it with me, kids, socioeconomics. Whoa, the thing that Asmongold said was a bunch of fucking cope. Yes. No, we're being... Boy Meets Mini, we're being fucking woke. Everyone, sound the alarms. Sound all of the alarms. We're being fucking woke. Grrr. We're being woke. How dare I be woke? So that's the reasoning, Asmongold, for as to why there is a lot more white people committing crimes in comparison to that of black people. Grrr. I can't believe that this is the case from my heckin' streamer. And my heckin' streamer would say these things. How dare he? So yes, to unironically just claim that it's a bunch of fucking cope or whatever the fuck, that there are socioeconomic factors for as to why this stuff, generally speaking, happens, is incredibly fucking stupid. But then again, we are talking about Asmongold here, and he is really fucking dumb.
U.S. non-Hispanic white is 2.8, black is 21. That's a crazy rate, literally a 10x almost.
So what aboutism? And no answer for white people then?
No question. No
Notice
answer
how
to the
my
question.
data directly came from the FBI and was about all or ideology, that these things are apparently genetic or inherent to the racial categories. So, why is it then that white people commit the most crime in this country when Asians, who outnumber them in places like China, don't commit crime at nearly the same rates or in absolute numbers? What's the explanation?
This is the data. U.S. non-Hispanic white is 2.8, black is 21. That's a crazy rate, literally a 10x almost.
So what aboutism? And no answer for white people then? Notice how my data directly came from the FBI and was about all crime, whereas these people specifically talk about homicide, as if that's the only crime. And they're once again not showing us the source for this image, so it is of dubious credibility.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is... Dude, what is with these fucking jabronis constantly using they fucking Imgur links in order to try to make their arguments? Bro, like, where is this from? Can we get, like, some kind of, like, vetting of what the source is? Like, where is this from? What is this? This is the second time, just in this video alone, that Asmongold has fucking done this.
To begin with. They're also doing the tired per capita thing, which is irrelevant to this discourse, which I will remind you was white people commit the most crime overall, despite not facing the scope of marginalization that black people have and continue to face. We've already discussed black people. Poverty correlates with crime. Did a whole hour-and-a-half video on that. We're talking about white people now, and you're trying to deflect and do a whataboutism. That you're avoiding that topic should concern the neutral third party. Anyway, that's the end of this really pathetic attempt at a rebuttal. More coping, more relying on the chat for his talking points, no actual sources, no evidence, no nothing. It is an absolute joke this guy has the reach he does, because he says nothing of value. If all you're going to do is parrot what someone in the chat says, give them that platform and stand aside, you dirty-ass bum. But please recognize this, Zach. I can do this all day. You think you're farming me, but actually, I'm farming you.
Whoa, copyrighted music. Shut up. None of that. Okay, the video's over. Fantastic, very good. Well, as expected from the Birdman, he made Asmongold look like a fucking idiot again. Whoa, shocker, I know. I mean, it's not like it's an achievement or whatever. I guess look at Daho, the racist streamer Daho, downplaying the achievement of fucking black people. How dare he fucking do that? Urgh! That's besides the point. But yeah, common Birdman W, common fucking Roach King L, Asmongold making himself look like a complete dumbass yet again because he is a dumbass. He is an incredibly, incredibly fucking dim-witted individual who, and you should constantly ask yourself this question, has somehow achieved the success that he has through, I have no idea what means whatsoever. Maybe it's like voodoo magic or some shit, whatever, who the fuck knows. But he's gotten the fucking prominence and sort of, shall we say, I don't know, adulation that he has somehow gotten throughout his career of streaming. Streaming, like, unironically, at this point in time, the most slop dogshit fucking propaganda that I have seen in a good long while, and I have seen quite a lot of fucking propaganda in my sort of political foray, for lack of a better term, for a long fucking time. And I do really have to say that Asmongold is easily, I think, one of the fucking laziest, just stupid, and I mean stupid motherfuckers on the goddamn planet. And that's not even fucking goddamn close, because God, like, holy shit, there are a lot of really, 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 really shitty conservative propagandists out there. Like, these motherfuckers, for the most part, are basically a dime a fucking dozen. And somehow Asmongold just manages to achieve the most mediocrity out of all these stupid motherfuckers. It's one of those things where if it wasn't as, like, I guess, horrifying, you would have to be genuinely fucking impressed. But unfortunately, it's pretty fucking terrifying that he still is somehow maintaining the popularity and prominence that he has because of just how much of a dumb, dim-witted motherfucker this jabroni is, and he thinks he's constantly imparting the wisdom with a lot of the idiotic fucking bullshit that he generally puts out there in terms of his extremely, extremely fucking lazy propaganda. But yeah, listen, one should always just keep constantly making fun of dumbasses like fucking Asmongold, because again, he is an incredibly, incredibly, incredibly dim-witted individual. Don't think there's really much else to say besides that. Who created this video that you are speaking of, Clay? What is this video of? I uploaded 8 days ago called "I interviewed Asmongold's biggest fans." So now I'm curious. I know there was an Utterly Noah video of him interviewing a Chibi Reviews fan, and he ended up no longer being a Chibi Reviews fan, so that was really funny. I think I know who that is. That name is familiar to me. I think I've seen that individual pop up on Twitter before. Steven Asarch. I interviewed Asmongold's biggest fans. I'm curious. Inside the Mine, and it's Hassan and World of Warcraft. Very interesting. Alright, so before we continue our escapades into the topics du jour, I want to start the growing operations with specifically these things, aka the estrotoaxtite. Want to move these by one tile so then I have an extra slot for growth. I have fucked up here, basically. Alright, I can't do these with all of them. Because we have to use the red belts because of the fact that I am expecting these to be covered in corrosive acids. Those damage our machines, and these are meant to protect our machines. Nope, we don't touch those. Bro, I'm trying to... Why aren't you also cutting the other one? Alright, well, now I'm just getting trolled. Okay, now we have to repeat it for the other side. Okay, so this build's going to be obviously very weird and a bit scuffed, because it kind of has to be a little weird and scuffed, because we can't use splitters, which is annoying. A restriction we must deal with. Curses. Alright, that's that side done. Now you have to do the same thing over here. Alright, so for all the carbon and sulfur that we're going to be making with this process, that is going to be immediately thrown out, because we don't want any of that. And that shit is basically completely and utterly useless. don't have to really do anything complicated in particular. We need to use our red belts here, because again, no protection. And we need to use the invulnerable stuff. Over here, I'm mostly just anticipating that it's probably going to be far enough away, so I am not concerned. Well, that's annoying. Lovely. All right, cool. Here, here. Okay, so that's the sulfur and the other stuff. Now we need to think about how we are going to take care of the sprouts. And we are not talking about Saikuno. You may clap. I'm very, very funny. I know. Ah, fuck, this doesn't work. I have to do some probable double splitter fucking shit. This is gonna be a fucking abomination. I need the grid. I need the grid. Blueprint grid. Not the blueprint grid. Oh, you would, boy, Spinny. You Zoronist LARPer. Little tidbit of truth. Asmongold, he is lonely now. Most likely will be lonely in the future because his bloodline is more likely to end with him. I mean, he's had two instant, like, what? He had a wife with pink sparkles, but she left him because of how much of basically a piece of shit he was, if I recall correctly. And with the other fucking jabroni, I don't remember the name of her, but she was an Asian girl She also left him as well, but I don't know the circumstances of that. If I were to take a guess, probably because of fucking Asmongold doing some stupid fuck shit. Because again, Asmongold's just, like, he's just not a good person. He's a bad, bad individual. Okay, I do not like the new content interface that fucking YouTube has put up here. Like, what the fuck is this? Why can I not see the likes and dislikes on videos? It's very stupid. It's not blueprint grid. Tile grid is what we're looking for. It's a little awkward because there are some of these tiles. But if we're extracting trees here, it'll still mitigate the problems. However, this belt could still potentially take damage, which is kind of annoying. So I may have needed to build this out another layer over here then. Okay, that's not too annoying. It's a little annoying. Nah, it's not that bad. So we need to move this out to over here, actually. Okay, that's fine. More landscaping.
Oh man, we love landscaping here, folks, don't we? I love the landscape.
Well, it's because Asmongold's just not interested in fundamental improvement of himself. He doesn't care. He already has his, like, seat in... Alright. Thank you, Zane. He already has his fucking place. Why does he have to care? At least that's the logic. The Destiny want to be here. Who? There's a lot of those guys. And they're all really fucking annoying. Okay, so we have to get rid of the substations, which is kind of annoying, but, like, that's not the end of the world. The guy from yesterday? I don't remember who. Oh, that guy. Oh. You're talking about Equirl. He shows up every now and again. Yeah, the Objective Nihilist, which... Okay, man. I don't think he's here, no. I don't think so. He would have said some stuff in chat if he did. If he was here. So I don't think he's here at the moment.
Don't think he's here, folks.
Alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. So we move this over by 1. that was really cringe yesterday. It kind of was. Like, okay, if I recall correctly, what he was basically talking about with his, like, nihilism position, but basically, his whole shtick is, what? I don't even remember, because I was not really paying attention all that much in the chat. Because he was, like, trying to figure out what, like, my moral axioms are or something. I'm just like, I haven't really thought about it all that much, because I don't think it matters, to be quite honest. Like, to whatever. He just didn't like the fact that I had agreements with other people. That's what it boiled down to. Well, I mean, if the dude is a Destiny fan, a lot of Destiny fans love to argue for the sake of arguing. They love that shit. And there is no debate tactic that they will not accept when they make their fucking arguments. It's rhetoric for the sake of rhetoric. And there's a reason why I say it's rhetoric for the sake of rhetoric. It's because they tend to be incredibly fucking pedantic. So if you're not precise with your fucking wording, they get real fucking ass mad about it. And it becomes a whole fucking pedantry battle. And it's just like, God, it's like, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. There we go. Lovely. I'm covering up all this other shit as well. Alright, move that over by 1. Not too bad. Pretty simple, pretty fucking goddamn clean. So that should ensure that the... whatever the fuck is protected, aka our thingamajig splitter here. Adding more defenses is probably going to be very, very annoying. Well, I mostly would have to, like, kind of add them up over here. I'm not as concerned about the lead growing, the cottonite, although we need a lot more cottonite to grow lead, because lead has 4 times the growth rate in comparison to that of chlorine salts, whereas chlorine salts have a cycle of about 30 seconds. Yes, if I recall what you were basically saying there, Zane, that there's a bunch of universal truths, broadly speaking, that us as humanity have agreed upon throughout law, and generally speaking. And that's what he kind of ended up agreeing with, because he can't really engage with that whatsoever, because if he were to try to engage with that, optically speaking, he'd probably make himself look really bad and ridiculous. Which is why he won't engage in terms of, like, the agreement that a lot of humanity has some universal truths that we have decided are good universal truths, and that being, like, nihilistic about them is just kind of silly. Like, there's just no point. He pulled the actually, 2% of people don't agree with it, so it can't be universal. Yeah, then you're definitely debating with the DGGer, because they would fucking pull something like that. Absolutely. They love doing that. That's like one of their favorite fucking things to do. Output priority is this way. Then we do a little bit of this. And out come the fucking fast belts. Perfect. Okay, so, The only reason why I did all of this fucking bullshit is to ensure that I could have one extra fucking goddamn slot for growth of more trees. That is why I did all of this fucking gobbledygook, basically. Actually, we just need to move this down. By one. Like so. Yeah, the basketball is round. It's got bumps on it, so therefore it's not exactly round. It's a bit of an oblong shape because of the contours, the rough contours that exist. Like, alright, man. Mentally, he's gonna do something fucking bad and hurt himself on stream. Maybe. Probably not. I have no idea. Who the fuck knows, Clay? Alright. There we fucking go. We have created our very elongated fucking self-sustaining loop here. Fantastic. It's time to start growth operations. Let's go grab a ton of extra sprouts from the main base. And begin to grow and start crafting some fucking nutrients. And get our nutrient loop going. And then we can finally start to grow some fucking ores. And actually start to build something in this goddamn base. It's been just nothing but lots and lots and lots, and I mean lots of fucking setup. I'm not normally the one to get annoyed with people. That guy just made me want to punch someone. Welcome to debating with DGGers. Again, the thing I say with a lot of those guys is the main thing is pedantry. They love to be fucking pedantic. They love pedantry. That's generally their main sort of debate tactic, is to be pedantic. And purposefully frustrating by essentially, like, being as annoying as possible in terms of your fucking terminology. Even though it's mostly irrelevant to particular discussions that you have. It's like, yeah, okay, bro, I don't care. Why don't you get some bitches instead? Instead of, like, listening to a dumbass like Destiny or something. Perhaps, Clay, perhaps.
True, and yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean,
let me guess. Where the fuck is the... You. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Not the nest spawning a bunch of big crab monsters that get instantaneously shot by guns. Death. There we go. The funniest thing about objective nihilism is that it contradicts itself. Its claim is an objective truth. is inherently self-contradictory. Yes, which is why, again, like, to be a nihilist, like I said before, I think is a point of fucking privilege. I'm gonna be honest here. There is no time to be a fucking nihilist right now. To be a nihilist is a waste of time. Do not, like, very often one should not engage with fucking nihilists. It's good to have healthy skepticism, obviously. But I do not see nihilism as healthy fucking skepticism. Hardly. It's just doomerism and depression for the sake of, well, doomerism and depression. Uh, 160? 160. We'll see what eventually happens with those guys, Clay. I mean, Tectone isn't a death spiral. Like, it doesn't matter what he does. Really, the worst thing that can possibly happen with, like, fucking Tectone is him, and I think this will probably happen, is him abusing his new wife. I think that's a guarantee, to be honest. Tectone, I think, is more than likely going to abuse his new wife. Because patterns of behavior and whatnot. And it's very clear that Tectone is not learning any of the lessons from his fucking court cases. All that can really happen at this point in time is to just simply wait around and see what happens. Not much we can do as humble onlookers and bystanders. We are going to need a lot more underground belts. Luckily, we don't have to do any annoying loop shenanigans with the Cottonite or the chlorine salts. So, thank God for that. No fucking annoying ass, very convoluted fucking loops with no splitters. So that's good. We have that going for us. We just need 2 more. There we go. And we got Exacxies. Lovely. Alright. Get grown, little buddies. Yes. Now for the spoilage, of which we are going to... That is not good, by the way, that the fact they're going to be both on the exact same fucking side of the belt. I think Steven Crowder still does like some occasional fucking interviews every now and again. I don't think he's officially off of the internet. But he's just irrelevant. Like, who cares about Steven Crowder? He's like a dead brand. I think Steven Crowder still exists. He's just like pretty much a dead brand. His views really fell off. Yep. Dude, like, who cares about Steven Crowder? He's lucky to get 50K. Mm-hmm. It turns out, I guess, being a wife beater was a bridge even too far for fucking conservatives. It's a surpriser, I know. Yeah, Ben's the metaphorical rabbit with the fucking stopwatch is pointing to Ben Shapiro. God, these belts are just nowhere near fucking fast enough, dude. But we really do not have a fucking choice. It's annoying, but hey, huh? We really do not have another better option. Tectone future potential wife beater. Yeah, that'll probably happen eventually. Uh-oh. I'm out of fast belts. God damn it. I mean, we gotta fucking... We do have to fix that for our fucking loops and shit. Less views Ben gets, the bigger his eyebrows get. That is a fascinating theory. I believe it. Alright, 500 more, please. The Greater Eyebrow Project. This is true. Bro Kana endorses Tom Steyer for governor. Cool. And all the blue centrist magatards are... we hate them. Asmongold claps back after Stavros says he gets no pussy. This is true. Shut up, fatty. So many men that are leftists use it as a mating technique. The fuck are you talking about, bro? The reason why a lot of leftists, quote-unquote, say that these dumbasses don't get any fucking pussy is because that's the exact same thing that right-wingers have said against left-leaning people for so fucking goddamn long. That Jose individual voted for Xavier Becerra, of course. Because he's stupid. But whatever. That guy's a very, very low IQ individual. who's eternally mind raped, but whatever. Yeah, it turns out the guy who gets a bunch of fossil fuel money, no one really likes that guy. The guy who's probably not going to do shit about PG&E. Nobody really likes that guy. Except for a lot of the really, really low IQ fucking blue MAGA dipshits. I thought we say it because it's true. Well, it's both. Does Hutch live in California? No, we do not want to go to Secretas. Yes, he does. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Would Hutch leave if Steyer becomes governor? Probably not. Destiny does live in Miami, this is true. Baltimore? Damn, Zane, I didn't know you were black. Wait, same with the Rune? The Rune's black? What the?
True, and yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean,
Yeah, this is true. True, Zane did vote for Biden. Flem Nation is being a real bastard right now, I think. Extra bastardly at the moment. It's not how you spell phlegm. But yeah, it's Flem Nation. Flem Nation's being particularly aggressive to me right now, so. Dude, seeing all the conservatives and clutch pearls over the official Democrat account saying, "You're fucking ugly, Stephen Miller," is so fucking stupid and pathetic. Like, bro. You motherfuckers unironically have created this environment, bro. You guys made this shit, bro. It's so dumb. Yeah, he is a Nazi. He's a Nazi who got emasculated by for like the dumbest reason on the planet. It's unironically, it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, cope, I don't care, fuck you. Like, cry? I wouldn't say that James Tallarico is exactly like a socialist per se. Probably not. He's probably more of like he's a progressive liberal, I'd say. But no, I like James Tallarico. James Tallarico's good. He's gonna be. I mean, the Democrats have a really, really, really good shot at being able to win in there. Yeah, progressive liberation Christian. Yeah, he's like a liberal progressive. It's 2 in the morning? Fuck me. I can agree with that. Listen, the formula right now that's the most effective for winning elections is looks like a chud, but acts like a woke. Like Graham Plattner, for example, and other like blue-collared like union leaders and workers and whatnot. Like looks like a chud, but acts like a fucking woke. Yeah, socialism in a MAGA body. Yeah, thank you, Hassan. Thank you, New York Times. Wasn't it RFK Jr. who said that, Zane? I think. There we go. Trump agreed with them after saying he's been studying it. I think I know what clip you're talking about. Yeah, again, it was one of the, like, suck Trump off cabinet meetings where basically all the dumbasses get around to suck Trump off. And if I recall, yeah, one of the things that was said there was, we have to study, like, basically that people who get circumcised are more likely to have autism or something. Some stupid shit like that. If it's anything from RFK Jr., it's something that's definitely going to be stupid and incredibly, like, conspiratorial. You know, doing his whole thing of I'm the best at it thing, but it came off super weird, Lamau. That's true. Well, he is in the Epstein files, so... Appears there may be some problems with some of our belts. Imagine thinking I care about automobiles, Boy Meets Mini. That's your job to care about that. I need to make a Tylenol emote. That would be funny. Good thing I caught this now before it became a problem. It appears one of our fucking undergrounds was flipped. And that must be remedied. Oh, there you go. Our third layer is now starting to go. Lovely, fantastic. This will snowball itself further and further and further, given enough time. Just needs to take a little bit of time for the loop to get going. The only problem that we may potentially have is spoilage throughput. Because we may not have enough throughput. Which may be a very, very slight problem. Now, a way that we could compensate for this is to put in a bunch of extra, like an extra layer of these, and then the way more fucking undergrounds and belts and whatnot, taking away a extra growth of an esochoaxite tree on both sides, which is not great. I'd prefer to avoid that. But sometimes a man's got to do what a man's got to do. As some say, country girls make do. No, you're not a girl. Country boys make do. $120-second fucking crafting time for productivity 4 modules? Ugh. Brother, ew. Brother, ew, brother, ew. Brother, ew. Brother, ew. Brother. Ew. We're also going to have to, import in a whole lot of gold plates for these things as well. So that's the 5th layer also going up already, so that's good. So that's gonna be for spoilage, for stone, and a bunch of other fucking bullshit. That takes in the acid file lichen. Okay, so there is the acid file lichen. The way we get more lichen is from the farming of chlorine salts. So in reality, we don't want this. Jesus. Alright. Thank you, Zane. The fuck is Portos? I'm about to say putis. Listen, we'll get fucking probably plenty of putis this Friday, because we gotta... we have to do the event for fucking Darktide, son of a bitch. That's a Friday problem. With El Fortus fucking Netus. Yeah, Portos. You fucking Portos. Portos. Acidophile lichen comes in from chlorine salts. And then that will get us 4 of the things that we want. Once we start mining all this shit over here. These jabronis. Which we might as well start. We have to use fast belts, of course, on these things. Even though these definitely cannot handle throughput. Yep. That's, definitely not enough for throughput. Oh, the mining time for these things is very short, 66%. So, yeah, they mine fast. That's fine. All we have to do now is to set up the fields to not only get, or rather the fungocultural towers, of which we still have plenty of. We need to make some more. We make the fungocultural towers in order to just keep our shenanigans going, and then we'll be happy, blah, 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 blah. Lovely. All that's left is to wait. And that's fine and dandy. We have plenty of growing that's happening. Eventually we'll get to here. We'll start making nutrients. We kickstart this process, and then it will be a self-sustaining loop. And then we just kind of keep going from there. The acidophile lichen we're probably going to bring in through this way. Have you ever liked fried spam and macaroni and cheese? It's so good. That's some strong poor people food candidate right there. Tile grid. That's not exactly an ideal location for placing this stuff, because it interrupts some of my trees. Actually, can I finagle this a little bit? That's fair. This works. Country engineers make do. Next thing we need to do is to set up our growth fields here. And then shaboom, shabang, shabong. We will start to get some ores. Hooray. And then we just need to bring them to the chests, and then the trains will start to be able to do their work and function properly. That will be figured out eventually. And it's probably going to be a tomorrow problem. Okay. I think I'm going to cover the other stuff that I have in the title tomorrow. I am a little tired, and I would like to get some sleep. Yes, we factored our Oreos a little too much. That's okay. Well, keep in mind, Clay, I am Canadian. So we do not have as many American fast food places. We have a bunch. Like, it was only, like, fairly recently that we started getting, like, Popeyes up here. I'm sleepy and would like to go to bed. We're gonna raid out. But I am happy at the very least that we're starting to get our loops going. And I'm really hoping that we will be able to start getting some fucking ores. I want some ores. I want my ores, man. I want to be able to start making basic products. I want to be able to start making fucking fast belts. And honestly, I think that's the biggest reason for as to why I want ores, so I can start making fast belts and fucking long-handed inserters on planet side. Although honestly, at that point, I won't have to ship it anymore. So, okay, good one. All right, who am I rating out to? Jimmy Dean stuffed meat lovers hash browns from the grocery store in the freezer case. Oh.
Wrap it up, dummy.
Thank you, Zane. Well, again, keep this in mind, Clay. I live in Canada. We still may not have that. See that freaking Justin is streaming? What the freaking Justin? That fricker? Justin freaking. That's who we're rating out to today. Dorks. You know what to do, you know what to say. Blessed by the Romanian Jesus with the trans stride with the Dahariba. If you're a sub, if you're non-sub, you do the wow with the Dahariba. So we show appreciation. Those are in case gamers. I will be back tomorrow. And we'll be talking about our own potential cycle of samsara that we may be entering into, and as well as the other topics as well. And you gamers. Excuse me. Ugh. I will be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, same face. Peace out, gamers.